Today I want to show you how one session can heal your father wound by showing you how my client went through my inner journey and released a massive fear that she had to do with her dad, and she could feel lighter and finally loved by him. I'm going to show you the steps that we went through, or the journey that we went through, and I will also share with you how you can do the same at the end. The other day, I had one of my viewer booking one of my free taster sessions that last for about an hour. And she wanted to work with her pain to do with the divorce that she's just been going through. So all the pain that she's basically feeling about her husband were deeper, that the pain was not coming from the marriage really. It started in her childhood. And while she was talking to me about her marriage, her husband, and her feelings, I could really feel and sense here is the inner child that really wants to be seen and heard, acknowledged, and most of all, loved and embraced. So I invited her to find a scenario where the little one would feel maybe a fear, or whatever she was feeling towards her dad, a scene that is still in her memory and still maybe repeating itself in her unconscious mind. So immediately the inner child started to cry, and she said that she feels very unloved and uncared for. He was never present, and she never felt safe around her dad. And the little girl was actually really present. So that was the moment when I invited my client to be with her, to embrace her, to give her all her love from her heart and all her light, and to just gently pull her into her heart, into the womb of her heart, into the sacred heart chamber. And when the little girl was present there for a few moments, she felt immediately better. She felt safe, and now she could speak. She could feel that she can open up. And she said what she was always repeating in her head again and again and again: why can't he take care of me? Why can't he be my father? And obviously this is something a little girl could not answer. She was only 3 or 4 and never got an answer to that. Again, she was embraced by my client, and she actually curled up for the first time and felt safe, felt relaxed enough. And I wanted my client to ask her if she needs anything else, if there's anything else she would really love to have right now. And she just said she just needs that safety and that love. And now she realized that she was so powerless before. And now being in that heart chamber, being surrounded by love and knowing that she's loved, she felt safe and she had her power back. That was the love of my client. And so when she was feeling all that, I asked my client if she can now see her dad through different eyes. And she said yes. And he was innocent. She said, he's innocent. He's not the monster I thought he was all along. And again, she was crying and releasing all that tension and that fear. And it was a big relief for her. And she released the fear. Yeah, that was the mighty powerful experience that was all happening within her immediately. I was able to guide her and she could follow, and immediately the answers were there. And then something came to me to actually ask her if she wanted to call her dad in now. And she said yes. And the dad was there straight away. And he said he didn't mean to scare her so badly. And he held her and embraced her. And for the first time, the little girl and my client could feel his love. So the bond of love that a father and a daughter have naturally was reestablished. And she felt the lightness in her legs then as well. That's what the little girl said, that she felt lighter in her legs. And now my client said at the end of the session that She now feels lighter in her legs and her ankles and her feet. Her feet had given her some problems before. So this was just a short 1 hour session. And usually my sessions are 90 minutes. And we always work with whatever is present and what comes up next. So if you have several sessions or you want to work with me for 3 months, then we can really set a certain goal. We can intend a certain goal better. I've worked with clients like that before, and it was amazing. They would never think that they could achieve the goal that they wanted to achieve. And by setting a 3 month goal, you get there, but by just doing one session after another session, you can say how many you want, and you are not having maybe the intention on getting somewhere, because that intention is mighty powerful as well. I never believed that myself in the past, but once I've taken clients on the 3 months journey, I saw so clearly that having the intention, the decision, was really, really helpful. It doesn't matter what your biggest wound is. I mean, my biggest wound was really my mother wound. And I've made a video about that before that you can watch at the end. And it was very, very powerful for me and for my client to really see our parent through different eyes. Because the big thing that a little child holds onto is the memory of what the father or mother was like. And if you never worked with that, never gone through it, and never re-experienced it from your present eyes, it won't change. So you've got to feel whatever is painful, but then immediately, because you go into the heart, you are released from it. So if you have anything that is repeating itself, or like maybe you are, for instance, having relationships that are not the right thing, that they keep on ending, and you see patterns that you had with your father as well, or with your mother, and you really would like to work with them to finally let go and release what's holding you back, just book one of my free sessions. They are there until the end of July. And what I'm also including is that you have a week afterwards where you can text me or email me with anything that's come up. If you have a question or you want to share something, I'm there for you for the week afterwards. And of course, that's there for every session you book with me. And who is it for, this session? It's for empathic women over 45 who have already done some healing work. My client, by the way, had done psychotherapy, and she worked with Byron Katie's method. So she worked with emotions, but it was never geared to the inner child, because my experience is that our inner children are sitting there frozen in time, waiting for our acknowledgement and for our love. And if that is not going to happen, the other healing things that you do are more general maybe. And it's about, what I'm doing is, it's about having the inner child heard, met, acknowledged. That is really the key. Sometimes it's also a past life self. But the key is, I want to help you to make order within your psyche, within your body, to release anything that isn't needed anymore, that really needs to be embraced and reintegrated, so you don't have like a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, 11-year-old, another 5-year-old sitting around you as parts separate from you. As long as any part of you is separate from you, that means that part has never been acknowledged and loved, and it needs to be embraced and reintegrated by pulling her into your heart. So if you want to experience a session like that, bring an issue that you have ongoing, like a trigger or an unresolved child hurt that you are aware of, and make sure you are an empathic, spiritually minded woman who is open to own everything that she is carrying, no more blame, of course, and who is responsible and willing to let go and meet what is underneath the surface. The link is in the description, and I look forward to meeting you. And don't forget, love yourself no matter what. Until next time.